So we just arrived at the office of the Kasena Nankana District, Paga. We are looking at tourist sites here in the district. There are a couple of them, but the very popular ones are the slave camp, the Paga Crocodile ponds, we have the Sirigu Poultry, and a lot of other ones. Of course, for us as strangers or as tourists, we might not know which ones are prominent or what it is that we have to do when we get to any of these sites. So we'll be speaking with the Honorable DCE of this great district to tell us more about these tourist sites, what it is the district has done as far as contributing to the development of these sites are concerned, and also what it is that they will do in the future to make it more attractive. There are certain things we have observed when people come for the first time, the next time it's difficult to get them back. Of course, in every situation there are some challenges, but when people put heads together, they're able to find a solution. So when we meet him, I'm sure you get to hear what it is that he has to say as far as what the assembly is doing in conjunction with the local authorities to develop the area as far as tourism is concerned.
In fact, Kasena Nankana West district, which I always call the Trinity district. Trinity district in the sense that we have three zones. So it's like we have got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That is the East zone, the Central, and that of the West zone. The East zone comprises of Sirigu, Nabangu, Mrugu, Kantega. And of course, when you come to the Central, that is Paga, Nakoloka, Yulu, and the environs. When you go to the west, we have Chana, Ketu, Nakong, Kayoro. In fact, the district is so blessed with a number of tourist sites, and just that some are partially developed, others are underdeveloped.
Just to refresh our minds, the Paga Crocodile Pond, the Chief, and the Zenga. So you have two ponds. You have the Sirigu Poultry. You have the slave camp.
Yes, we have the Kukula Shrine. We have the game reserve still in Cairo, but there are others.
Okay, so these are about 7 that you can.
Yeah. Then when you get to the crocodile, the Chief Crocodile Pond, you realize that the old motel that was in the bad shape, they are assembling in conjunction with one private person, put it in shape so that people who will visit the pond can always have a conducive place to sit and chat and then get food and what have you. So as of now, that place is running. With regards to the west and the east, we are trying our best. Normally, the key thing we need to do so far as tourism is concerned is the access routes to the areas. So in connection with Cairo, just last year or so, we've been able to open up a route from here to Cairo, even though we haven't finished with, because there is a need for bridging a good number of rivers. So we are still on. So if we gain access to the area, definitely we can then do what we can to develop those tourist sites. Again, Paga to Sirigu route is also not the best, and God being so good, I will say thank you to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. That road has been packaged for an award to the technical team, of course, with the limit, we always say for quota to be put on. So I know when the access routes are done, definitely we will have that chance of developing these very important places bit by bit. I know we are just close to Burkina. People do come via Accra and what have you. So actually, if we are able to develop these few that I even mentioned, not even all, we will be able to make it economically. It is important, I will put it that way, for people to visit Kasena Nankana West. so that they can enrich themselves with the culture of this district. People would like to know the history about the crocodiles. They would like to know the history about the slave camp. When you talk about the Babatus and what have you. I know during their era, none of us were born with those here. But we learn and read about them. So when they come to see that they were doing those activities at the slave camp, empirically, seeing is believing, they will tend to then actually know that, oh, what we read about actually was happening right here. So actually we have a lot to show. So I will just ask that anybody who wants to come here, they will come and go back with heads full of knowledge so far as history and culture is concerned. In terms of development, it depends on what you consider as the pond. If what we just work on with the motel and what and one not is out, then I can say 40 there about. But now that the motel is there where you can rest and sit and one I can give it around towards 50. But it fluctuates anyway. It fluctuates. That's what I'm saying we are on. With regards to the educating those there and what we will still have a lot. So if you are to read it holistically with what those things I just mentioned, we are moving towards 50 and above.
50 and above.
Yeah.
That's
but I know we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, that's encouraging. Anyway.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable.
La.
Arrived at the chief crocodile pond, and here, I mean, it's one of the crocodile ponds we have in the Kasena Nankana West district of the Upper East region, Paga to be precise. We'll be speaking to the tour guide to tell us the history behind this crocodile pond, and also to tell us what their challenges are, how many people visit here in a day, in a week, and maybe in a year. So it's going to be a brief but very educative discussion. Join us as we meet the tour guide there.
The foul is very easy. So buy one of the then just person responsible. You understand? So when you pay that, when you go inside the quality of my house, you can have access to either bullet or spark of it. You chase with it without any doubt. So that is how it is.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yes.
No harm at
So
all.
if you are ready, then you take that.
Is the chief's crocodile pond, but as you can see in front of me, the pond is full to capacity, meaning that the water level has risen. It is impossible for you to call the crocodiles to come out from this end, and so when tourists come, they are made to go to the other end of the pond where the crocodiles can come out, because there isn't so much water at that level. So we'll be making, the journey to that end for you to see how the crocodiles come out of the pond, how they are fed, how tourists get close to them and take pictures and all of that. It promises to be fun, so just keep watching as we bring you all the details as far as the crocodile pond in Paga is concerned. In fact, the chief's crocodile pond. Alright, so as we said, because of the risen nature of the water, we couldn't get close to a crocodile at the other end, but we came to this end. It still isn't possible for us to see a crocodile here, so we had to go to a smaller pond that is close to this one across the street to see the other crocodiles. The challenge they have is that the place isn't fenced, and as you can see, sheep grazing around and drinking from the pond, and we have excess water behind me and all of that. So this is the pond. They have challenges, but aside all the challenges they have, it's still a beautiful sight to behold. So do make time and come see the pond.
La
Of course, they are here to see the crocodiles. Good morning, and can you please tell us where you came from?
I'm Amos.
Okay.
From Tema.
Tema.
Yeah.
Wow, and
yes,
you are?
I'm also Engineer Robert from Accra, Ghana Metro.
Okay.
I'm also Isaac from Ghana Metro.
Wow, so is this your first time of coming here, and how did you hear about the crocodiles?
Oh, this is my first time of coming here, and I think I've heard about them. I did geography in SHS, so I know a lot of the pond. So when I came here, so the limited advantage, and I come and look at the crocodiles. But when I came here too, I met the tour guys. They spoke nicely. They told us everything about what when we come here, what we should do. And as we came here, we realized that they are friendly. When you come, you can touch them, take pictures with them. They are not harmful. So I just tell them that when they come around to Paga, they should come and visit the crocodile pond. The tour guys will treat them nicely.
Is it expensive to see the crocodiles?
It's never expensive.
Not at all.
Not at all. One person will not even spend more than 30 cedis. You can just touch the crocodile, take pictures as many as you can.
As you can see.
As you can
Okay,
see,
so
yeah.
do that and let me see. Okay.
Yes, we are touching them.
So what message are you sending back to your people at home and your
We
friends?
are telling them that they should travel to Paga, and when they come, they shouldn't hesitate to come and visit the crocodile pond, because it's one of the biggest crocodile pond in Africa, and I think the tour guides are also doing extremely well over here.
Guide. For the tour guides, it is their responsibility to take you around and make you feel at home. These are crocodiles on a normal day. With you alone, you might not be able to get close to them, but with the tour guides around, you feel comfortable and you are able to get close to them and even take pictures. Want to interact with the tour guide to find out from him how easy it is. Tell us a little bit about the history of these crocodiles.
Yeah, the history of the crocodile starts from the founder. The name of the founder is called Nave. Nave was a powerful hunter. He normally goes hunting and then comes back in the evening with fresh bush meat, where he gathers with his family to share a meal. So one day Nave went hunting and he got lost in the forest. He was trapped inside a very large hole where he had no means of coming out of the hole. So inside that very large hole, a crocodile came out of one of the cool chambers of that very large hole. He came and then led him out of the hole to a source of water where he quenched his thirst. He was very thirsty. So he quenched his thirst and then filled his guard with water and went back himself. So when he got home, he told his father that the crocodile saved his life. So what does it mean? So his father told him that once he was being chased by his stepbrothers to kill due to chieftaincy issues. So it was a crocodile that saved his life. So Nave and his father then decided that we go and tell the chief of Kampala. The place that they stayed, the name is called Kampala. So that they would tell the chief of Kampala so that the inhabitants, those living there, would forbid killing or eating crocodiles. So when they told the chief said that they were aliens, so they should go and find their own land where they could do so. So years later, Nave's father Pango, he passed away, leaving only Nave and his mother. His mother also passed away some months later, and Nave was left all alone. So he then decided that he would go and find a new land where he could start a new beginning. By then, there were no borders cut across between Ghana and Burkina Faso. So he walked towards this area, and this was a forest zone. So when he got to this land, he spoke a local language, which is Kasem, saying Ayipagyo. So the full name of this town is Ayipagyo, which means my eye is placed here. So he settled here and then swore that anybody who would ever join in to settle on this land should forbid killing a crocodile or eating its flesh. And that's how come the crocodiles in Paga here can interact with the people or be with the people without attacking them. In the ponds here, you can swim and fish with them without them attacking you. Yeah, that is it.
Wow. So, how often do they come out, or they only come out when tourists come to see them?
Yeah, sometimes they come out by themselves to take in fresh air. You know, they live inside water, but they don't drink water. So sometimes they themselves, they come out to take in fresh air. So sometimes without calling them, they come out by themselves. Yeah.
So when they are out and somebody is passing, can you get close to them without a tour guide?
Oh no, when there's no tour guide, you can't get close to them because there has to be a tour guide who will be able to lead you where to pass, where to touch and where not to touch. So without a tour guide, you are not supposed to go close to them because when they come outside, their vision is not clear. It's normally blurred. So when you go in front of them or touch their size and their legs, those parts, they are very sensitive. So when you touch them, it might react and think you are coming to attack it. And going in front of it, it might think you are feeding it a chicken. So it will jump. So there has to be a tour guide to guide you before you can go close to it.
They must be very friendly, I mean, crocodiles. How often do you have people coming around to see these crocodiles?
Normally we have a lot of people on weekends, Saturdays, Sundays. But weekdays, we hardly get people here. Yeah. And holidays, like Christmas and then New Year holidays, we get a lot of people.
Do people come from far places,
yes,
out of the region?
People come from all over the world, not only in Ghana. You get people from all parts of the world.
And when they go, do they come back?
Sure, they come back. Some come here more than once. Yeah, they come more than 2 or 3 times. Yeah, and they come again.
So what's your message to somebody who's never been here and probably is contemplating as to whether to come or not?
Oh, my message to those outside there who have been hearing of this place, the Paga Crocodile Pond, is that you should come and have a view of it. Come and feel the crocodiles. You can touch them and feel the skin of the crocodile. It's very amazing.
So what are some of the challenges you face?
The challenges we face here is the management. You don't get a lot of funds to manage the place. Like for instance, this pond, it needs to be dredged so that when in the rainy season, it can contain much water, more water. But right now, we don't have a lot of funds to dredge the pond. So like we are pleading to all the NGOs and all the governmental institutions, like if they can help us to develop the place, like we would have appreciated it. Yeah. And also you know that in the rainy season, the place is always flooded. It gets flooded, so the crocodiles, they come out by themselves. So if we can fence the place and make it look more attractive, it will have been much appreciated. Yeah.
All right. So fencing of the place and dredging of the pond. If an individual who has money and thinks that he can do this and maybe barter or collaborate with you people, will it be allowed?
Yeah, it would be allowed, but it depends on how he's going to collaborate with us. You know, these are not just normal crocodiles. They are believed to be spirits. They are believed to be our ancestors. So when you come here, you have to abide by the rules set by the traditional leaders here. So if you cannot abide by them, then I'm not sure they will allow you to collaborate with them. Yeah.
Thank you very much.